Alright guys, welcome back to another video. So we made some awesome progress yesterday on the blanket chest. We've got pretty much everything done. The last component that we actually need to build, and actually that's going to need a glue up, is going to be the tray that's going to go in this top area here. So I'm going to be using some white ash to make this tray. So that way later on, once it's all glued up, we can go back in and paint it with some milk paint, and it'll give us some cool contrast compared to the rest of the chest here. So I'm going to clear off the bench, and we're going to get working on that tray. We're going to just smash that out nice and quick, get it glued up, and get it ready for tomorrow when we can come back in, finish it, and then once we have that finished, then we can start doing some of our milk painting on both our bottom slats as well as the tray. Okay, so there's our tray, and those hand-cut dovetails took a lot of work. Now you might be wondering why on the case I used machine-cut dovetails, and on the tray here I used hand-cut dovetails. And there's two very good reasons. The first one is size, the second one is wood species. So first off, the wood species, with ash, I was afraid that if I touched a router bit to it, especially the straight bit or the dovetail bit, if I touched that to the ash, it would just explode. Ash is a very grainy wood with big open pores, so it really does not like router bits that are not, at least a spiral bit. So I was pretty sure that if I did this with the router, it was just gonna destroy absolutely everything, given how bad it actually did with the cherry. The second thing with the size, this is a much smaller piece. To do this whole tray, it only took me today. Whereas if I tried to do all the dovetails on the case of this blanket chest, if I tried to do hand cut all of them, I'd probably be out here for multiple weeks. It would genuinely take me a very long time, because in small quantities like on this tray, hand cutting dovetails is pretty fun. I enjoy doing it in small quantities, but in big quantities like the outside of the chest, it's not fun for me. I wouldn't enjoy doing that many dovetails. Now I know some of the traditionalists are probably laughing under their breath at me at the moment, but it's just true. It's the same reason why I'd find, hand planing one board might be fun. But if I had to hand plane all the boards for a project like this blanket chest, it wouldn't be fun anymore. That's why I have machinery. So in the case of doing a small tray like this, it's fun to get some practice in, to practice my hand cutting of dovetails. But for the case, I would much rather do it with machinery because it's gonna come out a lot better than I can do by hand. In the actual production model of this piece of furniture, if I was to actually sell it to someone, what I would do for the tray instead is just do a single dovetail using the router. But as I'm sitting here now, I'm kind of wishing that I did go for the single dovetail on this tray, because I do think that would actually look a little bit better than these three dovetails, because these three dovetails are very small. They don't really match the style of the blanket chest. The blanket chest has nice wide dovetails on it. So I do kind of wish that I made this tray with just the single dovetail on the corners. So this is all we're gonna do for today, because I don't really feel like being out in the shop for multiple more hours. And if I start another section of this, I'm probably gonna be out here for at least another 3 or 4 hours, which is gonna take me well into the evening. So I'm just gonna call it a day here, because this was just kind of meant to be a fun, a little bit slower day, hand cutting some dovetails, doing some nice joinery and that. So overall, it was a fun day to just put this tray together. We got it together, it's done, it's glued up, and that means that all we have left to do for the blanket chest here is to just finish off everything. We still have to mount the lid, but realistically all we have left to do is just clean things up, get things attached, and then the blanket chest will be done. The rest of this project is just going to be all about finishing it, which is pretty exciting. So anyways guys, I do hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.